Hi, my name's Anthony Sabella, and I'm an architect for Cisco Systems, and I specialize in cybersecurity technology. And today, we're going to be talking about the Identity Services Engine. So many customers lack the policies and procedures to govern access to the control network. And these policies and procedures need to begin when someone comes in physically or comes through virtually. And the technology involves identifying the source. What is the source endpoint? Is it a laptop? Is it a sensor? Is it a controller? Is it a laptop? What is this endpoint attempting to access? Where is this endpoint connecting from? This who, what, when, where, and how is essentially a security policy. And we have the technology to take your security policy off of paper and translate it into technical rules that will be enforced electronically throughout your network. And the main component is called the Identity Services Engine. And the Identity Services Engine is going to act as a central traffic cop. And its purpose is to provide secure access control for all of your endpoints, regardless of how they connect, wired, wireless, or remote access. And how it works is the Identity Services Engine has a radius connection to your access infrastructure. And it's going to examine the endpoint as it attempts to gain access and answer this, the who, what, when, where, how, and take that information and leverage it for first, an authentication decision. Does the endpoint belong on our network? And secondly, to provide the appropriate level of access privileges based on your identity. So how can this assist? Well, many administrators go to each switch and configure policy, maybe for convenience ports. They configure policy on wireless controllers, on firewalls, and they have multiple discontiguous points of configuration, which widens your risk exposure. So now we have the ability to consolidate all of this endpoint authentication. One spot to configure policy, one spot to manage it, one spot to report on every endpoint touching your network. So this makes policy management a whole lot simpler, and we're going to minimize your risk exposure in the process.